Free college football picks week 4 part 2. I'm Tony here with our college football pick show here for Tuesday's action. We have 11 games for Saturday. We do these in parts. We'll have every game covered for you from week 4 college football. Before we get into just a couple of things, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have free college football picks updated all season long. Free picks every day from all the major sports like NFL, like Major League Baseball, and of course lots of live shows on our channel giving out live free picks, making it a good time to subscribe. And also too, if you're looking for my picks, we've redesigned our YouTube channel where we listed my compilation videos right on the top page, so it make it easy for you to find my free picks. We put the compilation videos right on the first line on the home page. Click the thumbnail, you can see all the picks, or if you're looking for an individual play, look in the text field and you'll see the timestamp with each game there, so check it out. Also, if you would support our channel with that thumbs up, we greatly appreciate it. Then visit Tony'sPicks.com. We're a multi-capper site showcasing top cappers in our industry. Click the links to the hot cappers, get signed up to some of our long-term passes. You'll find our top performers here like Ramon Scott, Joseph Schultz, Collins Brown been on fire last 30 days. Yours truly, Ralph Raymond as well. Daniel Walsachuk doing great work last 7 days. Sean Dinwiddie up there, probably with a big day, and so is Ben yesterday. Guys, click the links. Get signed up to our long-term passes. You'll find our latest print picks here center of the page. Tabs for our best bets, our $15 pre and play, and multi-packs, which offer great value. You may also purchase plays a la carte from our pick ticker. There you will find team versus team information on that pick ticker. And you can save 20% off all pre and pick packages when you use that promo code TonyT at checkout. You can access our page by clicking that link in the description. Click the All Cappers tab, get signed up. Always love to hear from you guys, so you can post your picks in the comments. We are looking for cappers, so apply on that home page. All right, let's go ahead. Let's get this one started. Colorado versus Oregon college football pick here for action on Saturday. Colorado 3-0 on the year after their 43-35 home overtime victory to Colorado State Rams. Buffs rushed for under 3 yards at carry and another huge passing performance. They limited the Rams to under 3 yards per rush with 397 yards passing on 41 attempts. It was a +2 turnover margin for the Buffaloes. Shedar Sanders completed 38 of 47 passes for 348 yards with 4 touchdowns and an interception. On the season, he is averaging 9.2 yards per attempt. Oregon 3-0 after their 55-10 home victory at Hawaii. Ducks rushed for 7 yards a carry. They held the Warriors to 3 yards per rush with 142 passing yards on 44 attempts. Bo Nix 21 of 27 for 247 yards with 3 touchdowns. He averaged 9.1 yards per attempt. Buffaloes are second in the nation in passing offense, averaging 9.1 yards per attempt. They've beaten 2 Power 5 conference teams and a team from the Mountain West. The Ducks did give up 282 yards passing Texas Tech and kind of looked beatable in that game. Play your Colorado +21. BYU versus Kansas college football pick here Saturday. BYU 3-0 on the year after their 38-31 road win at Arkansas. Cougars rushed for under 3 yards at carry in the win. They allowed 4.5 yards per rush to the Razorbacks with 247 passing on 35 attempts. Keaton Slovis 13 of 25 for 167 yards and 2 touchdowns. He averaged 6.7 yards per pass attempt. Kansas 3-0 after a 31-24 road win at Nevada. Jayhawks rushed for 4.5 yards at carry in the game. They did surrender nearly 4 yards per rush to the Wolfpack, but only 113 yards passing on 22 attempts. Jalen Daniels, 21 of 27 for 298 yards with 11 yards per attempt. Both teams are experienced. Jayhawks are 17th in the nation in total offense by averaging 501 yards a game. They did show well in their 34-23 home win to Illinois. Cougars are struggling to run the football by averaging 2.7 yards per rush. Kansas sits 27th ranked defensively by holding foes to 274 yards a game. The Jayhawks do a good job of putting pressure on the quarterback, 3 sacks per game average. Cougars just 118th in total offense with poor offensive showing at home against Sam Houston State. Back-to-back road game for the Cougars as well. Play your Kansas -9. Maryland versus Michigan State college football pick Saturday. Maryland 3-0 after a 42-14 home victory to Virginia. Terrapins rushed for nearly 4 yards at carry with strong passing performance. They limited the Cavaliers to 3 yards per rush with 263 yards passing on 39 attempts. Talia Tagovailoa 19 of 30 for 342 yards with a touchdown and 11.5 yards per pass attempt. Maryland had a +4 turnover margin and spotted the Cavaliers' 14-zip lead. Michigan State fell at 2-1, a 41-7 home defeat to Washington. Spartans were down 35-zip at the half. The team rushed for 2 yards per attempt. They surrendered 6 yards at carry on the ground to the Huskies. with 538 yards passing on 39 attempts. Noah Kim just 12 of 31, 136 yards with an interception, 4.4 yards per pass attempt. Last year, Maryland won at home 27-13 behind 489 yards of offense. Terrapins has passed well against the Spartans the past 2 seasons, combined for 664 yards. Just a bad offensive showing for Michigan State in their first game against a Power 5 school. Spartans defense just sees another Heisman quality quarterback in this spot. Remember, the Michigan State pass defense has been bad here now for the previous 2 seasons as well. Play here Maryland -7. Texas Tech and West Virginia college football pick for Saturday. Tech is 1-2 after a 41-3 home victory to FCS Tarleton State. Red Raiders have FBS losses to 35-33 at Wyoming and home 38-30 at Oregon. Quarterback Tyler Shaw completing 61% of his passes, a career low though, 6.9 yards per pass attempt. He threw 4 interceptions. West Virginia 2-1, a 17-6 home victory to Pittsburgh. Mountaineers rushed for under 4 yards per carry. They held Pittsburgh to 4 yards per rush, 81 yards passing on 20 attempts. Garrett Green was injured through 2 passes. He sat out practice on Tuesday with his foot injury. Nico Marshall went 6 of 9 for 60 yards and a touchdown. He averaged 6.7 yards per pass attempt. Red Raiders experienced on offense with all 11 starters back. Mountaineers quarterback situation pretty bad shape now. West Virginia's averaged only 16.5 points a game against FBS opponents. Play here Texas Tech -6. Boston College versus Louisville College football pick. Here we go. Action on Saturday. Boston College 1-2 after the 31-29 home defeat to Florida State. Eagles rushed for over 3.5 yards a carry. They surrendered nearly 5 yards a carry to Florida State with 212 passing on 24 attempts. Thomas Castellanos 20 of 33 for 305 yards with a touchdown and a pick. He averaged 9.2 yards per pass attempt in the game. He is a threat to run the football. He had 95 yards rushing and a touchdown. Louisville 3-0 after their 21-14 road victory in Indiana. Cardinals were able to hold their 21-zip halftime lead. The team rushed for over 4.5 yards a carry. They limited the Hoosiers to under 3 yards per rush with 299 yards passing on 34 attempts. Jack Plummer 13 of 23 for 238 yards with a touchdown and interception. He did run for 42 yards with key rushes in the closing minutes to run out the clock. Castellanos has shown improvement under center. Louisville needed a goal line stand late after blowing a 21-zip lead. They were held scoreless in the second half. BC does a good job in pass defense. Louisville is inexperienced on offense with 6 starters back. Play here Boston College +14. FAU versus Illinois college football pick for Saturday. FAU 1-2 after their 48-14 road defeat at Clemson. Owls rushed for under 3 yards a carry. On defense, they surrendered over 5 yards per rush to the Tigers with 204 passing yards on 33 attempts. Quarterback Casey Thompson is out for the season with an ACL injury. Central Michigan transfer Daniel Richardson in relief went 18 of 32 for 120 yards and an interception, but only 3.8 yards per attempt. The Owls had a -3 turnover margin. Illinois fell to 1-2. With their 30-13 home defeat to Penn State, Final Illini ran for just over 2 yards a carry and were productive through the air. On defense, they allowed 4.1 yards per rush to the Nittany Lions with 219 passing yards on 37 attempts. It was a -5 turnover margin for the Illinois. Quarterback Luke Altmaier was 15 of 28 for 163 yards with 4 interceptions. He has thrown 7 picks in his 3 games. Back-to-back road games for FAU. In their other loss, they were held to 10 points to Ohio at home. FAU 110th in the nation in total offense. Final Illini good, and Final Illini ground and pound will control line of scrimmage in this one. Late scoring to get this cover. Owls running backs are banged up and receiver burden is questionable. Play here Illinois -14. Georgia Southern versus Ball State college a football pick here for Saturday's action. Georgia Southern 2-1 after their 35-14 road defeat at Wisconsin. Eagles rushed for less than 3 yards an attempt. They surrendered over 5 yards per carry to the Badgers with 244 yards passing on 31 attempts. Davis Brin, the Tulsa transfer, 33 of 52 for 385 yards passing with a touchdown, but 5 interceptions. Georgia Southern a -6 turnover margin in the game. Ball State 1-2 after their 45-7 home win to FCS Indiana State. They've had losses by 42 to Georgia, 30 to Kentucky, all on the road in their FBS games. Quarterback Caden Simonza completing 66% of his passes with 6.1 yards per attempt this year. Brin's turnovers are a concern here. The Cardinals are holding teams to 335 yards a game with Georgia and Kentucky on their schedule. Play here Ball State +7. Louisiana Tech and Nebraska college football pick for Saturday. Louisiana Tech 2-2 after a 40-37 home defeat to North Texas. Bulldogs posted over 5 yards per rush in the game. Defensively, they did surrender over 5 yards to carry to the Mean Green with 313 passing yards on 41 attempts. Hank Bachmeier, 6 of 11 for 72 yards and 2 touchdowns. He was forced to exit the game due to injury and is questionable here. Jack Turner in relief, 9 of 14 for 145 yards and a touchdown, averaging 10.4 yards per pass attempt. Nebraska improved to 1-2, a 35-11 home victory in Northern Illinois. Corn Huskies had a really good game on the ground, 5 yards per carry average, 158 yards passing on 24 attempts. They held the Huskies just over 1 yard per rush with 123 passing yards on 36 attempts. Jeff Sims missed the game with that ankle injury. He missed practice on Sunday. Sophomore Henrik Harburg went 14 of 24 for 158 yards with 2 touchdowns. He averaged 6.6 yards per pass attempt. Bulldogs in their FBS games allowed 40 to North Texas, 38 at SMU. Cornhuskers sit 30th in total defense, holding teams just 1.7 yards per run. Opponents averaging just 5.8 yards per pass attempt here on Nebraska. Louisiana Tech allowing 5 yards to carry on the ground defensively. Possible backup quarterback play here for Louisiana Tech. Really big difference facing one of the worst defenses in college football, North Texas, now facing Nebraska. Only 4 starters returned on defense for the Bulldogs. Play here in Nebraska -10. Minus the 19.5. Miami and Temple college football pick for Saturday. Miami 3-0 after a 48-7 home win to FCS Bethune-Cookman. Their wins in the FBS came to Miami, Ohio by 35, and a home 48-33 victory to Texas A&M. Hurricanes had a huge passing performance in the win against the Aggies with 374 yards and a +2 turnover margin. Tyler Van Dyke is completing 76% of his passes with 11 yards per attempt. Temple 2-1 with their 41-9 home victory to FCS Norfolk State. In their FBS games, the Owls beat Akron at home by 3 and a 29-point road defeat at Rutgers. Temple allowed 452 yards to the Scarlet Knights in defeat with 254 rushing yards on 52 carries. Correct, E.J. Warner is completing only 52% of his passes with 6.4 yards per pass attempt. He completed only just 42% in the loss to Rutgers with 2 interceptions and a 4.3 yards per pass attempt average. Miami's offense clicking here, gaining 511 yards a game. They sit 6th in the nation with 8.3 yards per play. Temple struggles in pass defense, allowing 13.2 yards per completed pass. Warner's lack of accuracy, a massive concern here. Play here Miami -24. New Mexico versus UMass college football pick here for Saturday. New Mexico fell to 1-2 with their 27-17 home defeat to Mexico State. Lobos rushed for nearly 5 yards a carry. They did allow 6 yards per rush to the Aggies with 220 passing yards on 15 attempts. UAB transfer DeAndre Hopkins here, 20 of 39 for 247 yards and a touchdown. He averaged 6.3 yards per attempt. UMass is 1-3 after a 19-17 road defeat at Eastern Michigan. Minutemen rushed for nearly 4 yards a carry. Defensively, they surrendered nearly 10 yards per rush to the Eagles with 157 passing yards on 26 attempts. They had a -3 turnover margin. Carlos Davis, 23 of 41 for 340 yards with a touchdown and 3 interceptions. Davis saw action due to the injury to Tyson Fomanata, who is questionable here. Lobos, an inexperienced team with 2 starters returning on defense. New Mexico has lost 9 straight against FBS opponents, held to 17 or fewer points in all 9 losses. They failed to cover the spread in all 9 of those losses as well. Common opponents, New Mexico State. UMass earned an 11-point victory on the road. Lobos 1-10 to the spread, facing teams that complete 58% of their passes or greater. Play here UMass -3. Ohio versus Bowling Green college football pick. Here we go. Action on Saturday. Ohio 3-1 after their 10-7 home victory at Iowa State. Bobcats rushed for 3 yards per attempt. They limited the Power 5 conference opponents to under 2 yards per carry with 233 yards passing on 24 attempts. Quarterback Curtis O'Rourke 16 of 32 for 135 yards with a touchdown and only 4.2 yards per attempt. Bobcats had a +2 turnover margin on the strength of 2 intercepted passes. Bowling Green 1-2, a 31-16 road defeat at Michigan. Falcons rushed for just over 2 yards per carry. Defensively, they allowed nearly 7 yards per rush here to the Wolverines with 143 yards passing on 13 attempts. Connor Bazelak missed the game against Michigan with a leg injury. He was seen wearing a leg brace. Camden Orth completed 8 of 11 passes, 91 yards and 8.3 yards per pass attempt until getting injured. They turned to third-string quarterback Hayden Tomasek, who threw 2 interceptions, 3.3 yards per attempt average. Bowling Green has only 5 starters returning on defense. Ohio's experienced on offense. Ohio 6th nationally in total defense. They hold teams to 2.4 yards per run, 5.9 yards per pass attempt. Bowling Green quarterback situation pretty bad. The Bobcats 7-0 to the spread, facing teams that allow 8 yards per pass attempt or higher. Play here will be on Ohio minus 13. All right, that was our college football pick show here for action on Saturday. That was week 4, part 2. We'll do these in parts throughout the week and get all 60-plus games in here for you. So make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have free college football picks updated all season long. Free picks every day from all the major sports like NFL, like Major League Baseball. Live shows on our channels. Remember, we redesigned our YouTube channel so you can find my picks on the first line with my compilation videos. Click the thumbnail and you'll see the time indexes there for you if you want to see individual plays, or you can just watch the whole entire video. It's up to you. Guys, be sure to visit our site, Tony'sPicks.com, for our best plays. Our premium picks are there. Remember that promo code TonyT at checkout. You'll save that 20% off. And of course, be sure to support our channel with that thumbs up on this video. We greatly appreciate it. All right, I'm Tony T. Back later with more free picks.